Today, we're diving into some juicy rumors about Samsung's Galaxy S26 Ultra, and this one might change the game for battery life, but with a twist. So Samsung might finally give the Ultra a battery upgrade in 2026, but here's the catch. It could mean saying goodbye to the S Pen slot. Yep, you heard that right. A reliable Weibo leaker says there's about a 50-50 chance Samsung will drop the S Pen slot starting with the Galaxy S26 Ultra. Instead of housing the stylus, that space could be freed up to fit a bigger battery and some new sensors to enhance your user experience. There's also talk that the Galaxy S27 Ultra might fully ditch the stylus slot, making the S25 Ultra potentially the last flagship with a built-in S Pen silo inside the body. Now, why would Samsung do this? Well, removing the S Pen slot opens up valuable internal space, allowing for a 5 to 10% increase in battery capacity, something fans have been asking for a long time. It's not a massive leap, but enough to help the phone last longer, especially with fierce competition from Chinese brands pushing battery life forward. On top of that, Samsung might also upgrade the S Pen technology itself. The new S Pen could work without the digitizer film on the display, which means Samsung can make the phone even thinner. This aligns with what we've already seen hints of in the Galaxy S25 Ultra. Speaking of the S Pen, a quick heads up, the one on the S25 Ultra dropped Bluetooth support, which was a downgrade from previous models. Samsung said the real user base for Bluetooth-enabled S Pens wasn't as big as they hoped, so they cut it out. Could this mean the future S Pen will see improvements, or is Bluetooth gone for good? We'll have to wait and see. So what do you think? Would you trade the S Pen slot for longer battery life? Or is having the stylus built in too important to lose? Let me know down below. Today we got some exciting news for all the Galaxy Ultra fans out there, especially if you've been begging Samsung for more RAM. Well, it looks like our wishes might finally be coming true. So here's the deal. For the past 4 years, Samsung's Galaxy S Ultra models have topped out at 12 GB of RAM. Yeah, 4 generations with no real upgrade. Technically, the Galaxy S25 Ultra did launch with 16 GB of RAM, but only in a few select markets. So unless you live in one of those rare regions, chances are you never even saw that variant. But according to a new report shared by Jukin Losrivan X, originally from Macquarie Research, things are about to change. The upcoming Galaxy S26 Ultra might finally bring us a true global 16 GB RAM model. That's right, Samsung is reportedly planning to launch the S26 Ultra with 16 GB of RAM worldwide, or at least in most markets. And yes, there will still be a 12 GB variant, but now you'll actually have the choice. This is kind of a big deal because Samsung hasn't offered a Galaxy S flagship with 16 GB of RAM across the globe since the S21 Ultra. That was all the way back in 2021. After that, they rolled it back to 12 GB and just stuck with it. The S20 Ultra and S21 Ultra were the only ones that had that higher memory option available globally. Every Ultra since maxed out at 12 GB, except for that one-off S25 Ultra with limited 16 GB availability. 2022 was actually the first time in a decade that Samsung reduced RAM capacity in its Galaxy S line, but now it looks like they're finally reversing course. If the S26 Ultra does launch with 16 GB of RAM across the board, it would be the first true step forward in memory specs we've seen from Samsung in years. Meanwhile, over in Apple land, the upcoming iPhones are rumored to get a RAM boost too, up to 12 GB finally. But still no sign of 16 GB from Cupertino, so this could be Samsung's way of maintaining that performance edge, especially for power users and mobile gamers who actually need that extra headroom. So what do you think? Is 16 GB of RAM a game changer for you, or do you think it's overkill for a smartphone in 2025? Let me know in the comments below. We're now going to run through the full specs, design, and expected pricing to help you decide which one is right for you, so hit subscribe now, and let's dive right into it. First up, the standard Galaxy S26. It's coming with a 6.2-inch dynamic A&OLED display with improvements in brightness and color accuracy. We get a 120Hz display with HDR10+, and a resolution of 1080x2340. The display will be protected by Gorilla Glass Victus 3. For selfies, it has a 12-megapixel punch hole camera. On the rear, there's a triple camera setup consisting of a wide, ultra-wide, and telephoto, but the exact sensors are still unknown. It'll be powered by the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 2 chipset and comes with 12GB of RAM and up to 512GB of storage, UFS 4.0. The battery is a 4000 mAh unit with 25 dB fast charging and 15 dB wireless charging. It will also support 5G, Bluetooth 5.4, Wi-Fi 7, and ultra-wideband support. The phone will launch with One UI 8 based on Android 16 and is expected to start at around $800 in January 2026. Next, we have the Samsung Galaxy S26 Plus, which may also be known as the S26 Edge. This one will come with a 6.7-inch dynamic AMOLED display with similar improvements in brightness and color accuracy. You'll get a 120Hz display, HDR10+, and a resolution of 1440x3120, protected by Gorilla Glass Victus 3. There's a 12-megapixel punch-hole camera for selfies. The rear setup includes a dual camera system with a wide and an ultra-wide camera, though the exact sensors are still under wraps. It's also powered by the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 2 and will come with 12GB of RAM and storage options of 256GB or 512GB, UFS 4.0. The battery is a 4900 mAh unit with 45 dB fast charging and 15 dB wireless charging. It will support 5G, Bluetooth 5.4, Wi-Fi 7, and ultra-wideband. This model will launch with One UI 8 based on Android 16 and is expected to be priced from $1,000 in January 2026. Finally, we have the premium model, the Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra. This one features a 6.9-inch dynamic AMOLED display, again with improvements to brightness and color accuracy, 120Hz refresh rate, and HDR10+, with a resolution of 1440x3120, and it will be protected by Gorilla Glass Armor 3. There have been reports suggesting that this could feature the first ever under-display camera on an S-series phone, likely an 8-megapixel under-display selfie camera. On the rear, it will come with a quad camera setup featuring wide, ultra-wide, telephoto, and periscope lenses, but the exact sensors are still unknown. The phone will be powered by the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 2 in all regions and will come with 12GB of RAM and up to 1TB of storage, UFS 4.0. It's packing a 6000 mAh battery with significant improvements to fast charging. As expected, it will also support 5G, Bluetooth 5.4, Wi-Fi 7, and ultra-wideband. The S26 Ultra will launch with One UI 8 based on Android 16 and is expected to start at $1,300 in January 2026. Overall, it's looking like the Samsung Galaxy S26 series is going to be an exciting release, especially if the Ultra becomes the first S-series phone to feature the under-display camera. Samsung seems to be continuing their strategy of improving and refining their phones, rather than completely redesigning them for the sake of it. And just like all new phones, there will be a major emphasis on software, with AI playing a huge role in the user experience. The launch is still a bit far off, but we can expect plenty of information to leak as we approach the release date. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out on the latest updates.